In 1968, Tonka produced a diecast dune buggy toy that was based on a Jeep CJ7. Later, that buggy design was revisited by Tonka. They reimagined the dune buggy with totally new accessories, paint, and stickers, and also added a motorized feature. And in 1982, the Mountain Master was born. And today, we'll be taking a look at the Mountain Master, here on KREED'S Collection. Hey, welcome back to another episode of KREED'S Collection. Today we're checking out the Mountain Master from 1982 by Tonka. The Mountain Master was one of my most played with toys as a child. It was totally different compared to most other Tonka vehicles in that it is motorized. Pretty much all Tonka vehicles at the time were freewheeling toys, so this one really stood out. As I stated in the opening, the Mountain Master is based on a Jeep CJ7, and it's been beefed up with giant monster truck style tires. So let's not waste any time and take a closer look at the Mountain Master. So right here on the front of the Mountain Master, you can see the winch, which is one of my favorite parts of the toy. And also the monster truck tires are amazing. They're nice and soft, they're rubber, so it made it where it could climb over things really easily. Now on top of that, you've also got the roof here, which is removable, and the antenna, which is also the shifter, can also be removed. But don't worry, we'll get to all of that shortly. First, I want to bring in a G.I. Joe figure and show you how big these tires are. How about Alpine? Hey, there we go. So as you can see, these things are literally like monster truck tires compared to him. And even though G.I. Joes aren't perfectly in scale, they're pretty close. Okay, now we're going to go in a lot closer to the grill. As you can see, the headlight stickers have held up great, and the winch and grill itself also look really good. Now, the only problem is there used to be a rope that went here, and there was a hook as well. Sadly, I don't have either of those anymore, and that's a real shame because this was a legitimate working winch. Oh well. Thankfully, it is the only piece that I've lost, and here's a quick photo so you can see what it looked like. Now we're going to move on to the amazing tires. Right here it says AT857, and here's a better look at how nice and soft they are. Now here on the other side of the tire, it actually says the logo Tonka, which is pretty cool. As we continue around to the driver's side, you can see here on this sticker there's some actual companies like Shell Gas, and there's also dirt detail to make it look like you've taken it mud riding. That brings us around to the back of the vehicle where you can see a little bit of sticker damage on the bumper and the tail light there. Also right here on the fender, but you know, this thing got played with so hard out in the dirt, I'm surprised it's held up as well as it has, honestly. But I shouldn't be, because it's Tonka, and that's what they're all about. Here on the passenger side, you can see pretty much the same detailing as the driver's side, so we'll just move on. Here's a better look at the sticker on the hood, and there's a little corrosion here and here that I couldn't seem to get cleaned off. There's a number 5 sticker on the roof, as well as 2 floodlight stickers right there. And speaking of the roof, we're going to go ahead and pop that sucker off and take a closer look at it. It's pretty easy to remove. There's just some clips. And here's a better look at it. I think it's held up fantastically. The only real flaws I see are some stains here on the number 5 sticker. But other than that, it looks great. There's not even really any scratches on it. Of course, these holes here are where the floodlights go. And if you flip it over, you can see the clips. These go on the front, of course. And these two hook onto the back roll bar. Before we put the roof back on, I want to show you the interior. So right here, you've got a CB radio on the console and a cup holder. The steering wheel actually does turn, and the seats have some pretty cool texture to them. So overall, the interior looks great. And we'll go ahead and put that roof back on now. All you have to do is slip the holes over the floodlights, and the clips will slide over the bar. Then you just snap the clip on the front, and there you go. Now we're going to take a look at the shifter, which is designed to look like a giant whip antenna. This is also removable, so I popped it off so we can take a closer look at it. Basically, it just slides over the shifter right there. It's pretty simple. And here on the end, there's a sticker that says first, neutral, second, and third. And basically, you'd follow behind it as a kid, and you could just grab it and shift it. Because, I mean, you were pretty close to the ground back then, so you didn't have to lean over as much. Now we're going to take a look at the gearbox. This is where you would actually turn it on to make it go forward, off, and then in reverse. Now, of course, as mentioned, there is first, neutral, second, and third. First was for climbing hills, neutral is freewheeling, which is nice so you could push it around. And then you had second and third, which weren't really for climbing, but more about speed. And as I mentioned earlier, the antenna goes over the shifter very easily. Now, this is normally the time when I would show you this thing operating, but I'm so sad to tell you that it is broken. Yeah, I recently put brand new batteries in it and tested it out, and nothing. I wanted to open it and see if I could figure out what was wrong, maybe a loose wire, but it is riveted shut. There's no way to open it up without having to drill out the rivets. But here's the silver lining. If you put it in neutral, it rolls perfectly fine. And it's still a wonderful diecast Jeep, even without the motorized feature. It's a shame that it's broken, but it did only roll forward at about half a mile an hour, so it wasn't like it was super mind-blowing. And to me, it's still a mountain master. I'll tell you right now, I know a mountain master when I see one, Creed, and that is a mountain master. Well, I will take your word for it, Alpine, because you're a mountain trooper, so you would definitely know. Hey, can you go ahead and take that roof off again? Yeah, why? Because I'm going to take this sucker to the beach when the review's done. Okay, Alpine, sure, no problem. Yeah, thanks, Creed. On the bottom, under the front axle, you'll find the copyright information, 1981 Tonka. And now for our He-Man size comparison. He-Man is barely too big to fit in the Mountain Master, but I have to say, that name sounds like something that he would ride around on. You know, they've got the Battle Ram, the Wind Raider, the Mountain Master. It would fit right in. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my toy retrospective for the Mountain Master by Tonka from 1982. This toy shuttled so many G.I. Joes across my yard growing up, you have no idea. And it's a real shame it doesn't work anymore. But that's okay, because it's still going to look fantastic on display. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up. And if you have any thoughts, please leave a comment. I love reading and responding to them. And while you're at it, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it, and it would help my channel grow. I do a retrospective on a toy from my vintage collection every Wednesday. So hope to see you next week and every week after, here on KREED'S Collection.